If you're watching this video, that means your company has made the decision to go up market. Congratulations, you're going after the big guys. And with that, your paid ad strategy needs to evolve in order to meet your new reality. In this video, I want to walk you through 4 lessons and truths that we have found scaling up market and helping our clients make the transition from SMB to mid-market to enterprise inside of our ad agency. If you're new to the channel, my name is Silvio Perez. I am the founder of AdConversion. We are building the one place that you can go to master B2B advertising from education, services, and software. On the educational side of our business, we've got 8,000 plus B2B marketers taking our free courses on LinkedIn, Google, Reddit, and other topics. On the services side of our business, we are working exclusively with B2B SaaS companies, managing over $3 million a month in ad spend and really helping them cross this chasm. And then on the software side of our business, we have a tool that we launched called Sammy that helps us build automated workflows to optimize our ads 24/7 across channels. So without further ado, anything ads, that's our jam. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you just like if you were a client or one of my team members, kind of explaining this concept so that you can understand it and have the right expectations as you go to battle of going up market. Okay, let's get started with an example and bear with my handwriting. And this is really the chasm that you have to cross as you decide to go up market. First, you have SMB, then you have mid-market, then you have enterprise. So scaling looks something like this as you go up market. And this line is representative of your TAM or your total addressable market. So these are all the people that you can service, that you can sell to. And when you're focusing on SMB, really you're focusing on anyone with a credit card that suffers with the pain point that you can solve, right? So here, the world is truly your oyster. You can run ads everywhere and you're going to benefit from lower cost of media. And really, even if you have a lower conversion rate, just because it's so cheap to get in front of people, the economics can work out. Here in mid-market, you're not as fortunate, where now you're more interested in the not just who the person is and the problem that they solve, but where they work and the types of companies that they work at. So now you're not going to have as many options in terms of channels available to you where you can run ads. And then finally, in enterprise, it gets even more dramatic and more extreme because here you're even more niche and more focused on exactly not who, but where and what they do for a living. So with that being said, when you're focusing on SMB, here you really are primarily focusing on capture. Like you just want to drive as much capture as humanly possible, as many conversions as you can. So when you're in SMB world, this is like you're focusing on paid search, you're running a ton of remarketing campaigns, you're just running ads with your free trial or your demo request on cold traffic and you're getting conversions. And the math still makes sense because again, the cost of media is so cheap that even with a lower conversion rate, you're able to make it happen, right? And here, that is really the game you're playing. The moment you decide to make the shift and start going after not just who, but what and where, and getting more specific about the people you want to go after, now you have to really shift because now, guess what? The same channels that work for you here are no longer going to work for you here, which we're going to talk about in a second. And then the same is true here. And then in addition to that, what you'll find, and if you're already making the transition, is as you go up market, your costs get more expensive and your conversion rates actually go down. And I mean this from an ads perspective. This is usually what people experience because they are focusing mid-market and enterprise, and they're taking the same approach that worked for them on paid search and trying to make it happen here. So what this looks like in practice is you're trying to run that same free trial ad and that same demo request ad now to a specific list of companies on LinkedIn, and they're not responding the way that you want, even though you went through the effort of creating personalized creative and trying to create messaging that speaks to them. The cost per conversion is still not making sense. It's dramatically higher compared to SMB. And guess what? That's normal because here your deal sizes are much greater. So it's really, you want to make sure you're playing the quality over quantity game. But with that being said, here the focus really needs to shift. So here we really want to focus on messaging. And when I say messaging, this is kind of like a loaded thing, so I'll kind of expand on it. But here we can no longer just like ask for marriage on the first date. It's not going to work. Like you can't just go and say, hey, sign up for a free trial, sign up for a demo. You can try it and see, especially if you're focusing on lower mid-market and not upper mid-market, because upper mid-market starts to teeter on like enterprise and these massive organizations. But here you really want to focus on messaging. You want to understand what are the pain points that resonate with your different segments. You want to focus on offers and getting experimentative with the offers that you launch to market. So for example, we're not going to be able to make a demo request convert on cold traffic anymore here. So maybe we could focus on a really good webinar that positions ourselves as a solution and then bridges them into the thing that we want, which is signing up for a demo, as an example. So here you really need to get experimentative. You need to test messaging, you need to test offers, and you need to see what's resonating with your audience. And finally, in the enterprise side of things, this is where there's really one last key focus, and more so than awareness, because awareness is kind of a given through all of this, right? We're trying to get in front of people. But in enterprise, more than anything, the primary focal point needs to be nurture. Because when you are dealing with enterprise, like you're talking 24 to 36 month sales cycles, and just being a part of the mental consideration set, AKA when they are ready to make a decision, they actually think of you, is half the battle. So now that we have this concept in our mind and we kind of can conceptually understand what crossing the chasm of going up market looks like, let's transition now into the fourth truth. Truth number one is paid search will become less effective as a channel. I kind of touched on this a bit, but I want to elapse on it. When you bid on paid search in the beginning, when you're SMB focused, again, you are bidding on solution-oriented keywords, and you don't really care so much who's behind the search. You care that they have a relevant pain point that you can solve. The moment you go up market, you're no longer just interested in what they're searching. You're interested more so on who is behind the search. And the challenge with paid search is two people can search the same thing and you're going to get charged the same amount. So paid search in our experience is predominantly a mid-market SMB channel. So if you're going up market, you're trying to focus on enterprise, you're going to notice that over time, your allocation in terms of budget will go down on paid search and really just capture as a general channel, paid review as well. And you're going to start to focus more on paid social, trying to pilot an ABM motion where sales and marketing are working together and trying to drive awareness and consideration from the accounts you care about. So if you're listening to this and you're like trying so hard to force paid search to work for you, to drive more upper mid-market enterprise deals, and it's just not working, know that it's expected. And now it's time for you to shift your approach, drive the awareness that you need from search, cover those long tail keywords that might not get a lot of volume, but make sense for the types of buyers you want. This is also where competitive search campaigns can make a lot of sense, especially if those competitors are known in the upper market spaces because they're already attracting those kind of buyers. But just know overall your allocation will go down. The second thing is your attribution has to shift from who gets credit to closing the deal as a team. When you go up market, attribution gets fuzzy. Now you're talking multiple touch points, multiple decision makers, long sales cycles. So it is not going to be feasible anymore to just measure success based on an ad being clicked and a conversion happening. Simultaneously, if you just rely on one attribution model, it could also lead you astray. So in my experience and what we recommend to clients is you focus on two approaches. Number one is last touch. And last touch is great for measuring your capture campaigns, aka remarketing, paid search, paid review, anything where you're driving an ad and you're trying to get a direct response from it. Measure those campaigns on a last touch basis. It makes perfect sense. However, your awareness activities, you're going to want to focus and measure that on a blended overall impact perspective. So the way we define blended is organic and direct plus paid. Because the assumption is if people search or they find us some way, shape, or form, or they see our ads and they do not click or convert right away, what they're going to do is they're going to look us up directly on their browser and then convert, or they're going to go to Google, search for us, and then convert on their branded term. So the reason we're pulling in organic and we're pulling in direct and we're not pulling in email, social media, referrals, or any of those other types of sources is because we're trying to isolate and measure the influence of paid ads as a channel. So the cool thing about blended is you can understand your total spend from your platforms against your pipeline activity. So let's talk about total pipeline. And then you can measure your overall efficiency as a business or your pipe to spend for every dollar you put in how much pipeline do you get back? And if you can see quarter over quarter, your pipe to spend is increasing, then that means you're becoming more efficient with every dollar you're investing in your awareness activities. So you should have confidence to do more of it. The third thing is you need to get comfortable with less volume. When you go up market, you're basically saying, I care more about quality than I care about quantity. In a perfect world, you could have both, but in the example I showed you, your total addressable market goes down as you go up market. So there is less quantity to choose from, and it becomes more expensive too. So just understand that you're not going to catch as many fish, but the few fish that you do land are going to be worth it, because if you close one deal, it is representative of 6 SMB deals or more, depending on your business. Finally, you need to focus on post-conversion. The game isn't over once the free trial submission comes in or the demo request is booked. It's truly just the beginning. You're talking 12, 36-month sales cycles, multiple people involved, and just making sure that you are staying in front of them is massive. Some of the best ROI we've ever had is running acceleration campaigns. These are campaigns that are targeting open opportunities and trying to improve the win rates, shorten the sales cycles, and essentially help sales close the deal. So these are the deals that sales is working. You're going to run ads against these open opportunities, and you're going to show them things like social proof, things to handle objections preemptively, and you're going to be a great partner to sales to try to close that opportunity. You can also do things like multi-threading, where now you're adding in different job functions. So you're not just going after your core buying group, but you're also adding in things like finance as well, or procurement that needs to be a part of this buying decision. And now it allows you to multi-thread and drive more targeted awareness across the deals that are already considering you in the first place. I hope this video was helpful. If you want more, check out this video here. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. If you can also give this video a like, that'll help us get the channel out there to reach more people. And if you want to go deeper into B2B and advertising, I highly recommend you check us out at AdConversion.com and you take our free courses where 8,000 plus B2B marketers are learning from us. I'm sure you can find a ton of value. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one.